that should make everybody a lot of money. Are we together? I hope everybody is set with their notebook and pen, and we are ready to just add on a little bit of the information, that we have. So the skeleton is a framework of bones, isn't it? And the most important thing it does for us, it supports, or gives us shape, and that is where we get support. And these bones and muscles and all these, what they call joints and tendons and all these things are very important to protect. So today, basically that is what we are going to talk about, building strength, movement, and wellness. So we are going to introduce you to what we call the muscle and bone health. Muscle and bone health refers to the strength, flexibility, and the proper functioning of the muscles and joints. Now, to wake everybody up, I'm going to ask everyone to read for me the first point there. At the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, Cut. We are going to, everybody is going to participate. 1, 2, 3,
Muscle and bone health refers to the strength, flexibility, and proper functioning of the muscles, bones, and joints.
Truth is, we are struggling, and we have so many people struggling with these conditions. In fact, when the muscles are struggling, most times people don't get sleep. They get those spasms, ebisulo, oba ne bafuna nakanyama, muscle pull, isn't it? And we have it a lot. It doesn't come with age most of the time, but even young people these days, when you have stress on your muscles, it happens. Now, healthy muscles, they are very needed because they support movement. Healthy muscles support body shape and posture, and they also give you balance. Now, you need to keep your muscles healthy and safe, and we do this with minerals and a blend of vitamins. Are we together? It's things like magnesium, things like phosphorus, things like calcium, and the rest of them help us keep our muscles well supported so that we can have movement enhanced and all well done, posture and balancing. And of course, when you talk about the bones, the framework, it gives us shape, it gives us support, but also things like the rib cage, which is part of the skeleton. They protect certain organs that we have. For example, the lungs are within here, isn't it? And also the heart. So protection of certain organs is also done by the bones. Now, the bones is not dead cement. It is a living tissue. A bone is not dead. Are we together? It is living. That is why when you have a fracture, that is a broken bone, isn't it? Munda mulimu babita batya. How do they call it in Luganda? Mulimu obusomyo, it's called bone marrow. Are we together? And that is living. It shows you that these bones are living. So, you need to protect them. Your bones, the living tissues. Now, of course, the joints, when you talk about them, for them, they help the body move smoothly and comfortably. And we have so many joints. And for movement to be done well, so you're not rigid, like if I was not having joints, even I wouldn't be moving. You need your joints to be okay. Are we together? So muscle, bones, and joints are very important. So good muscle, joints, and bone health improves your mobility. It gives you shape and enhances your confidence, and your quality of life is enhanced. When you have muscle pains, you're not fine, isn't it? When you have bone problems, you don't have good sleep. This morning, I just had a call from someone telling me they have pain in the knees, and it is so much that when they stand up, it is making a lot of noise, so they cannot squat. They have a lot of pain. They can't drive their car, and they wanted to use muscle bone care and the joint flex. And of course, this will work for them. My recommendation was easy. I wanted them to add on the third one called Super Omega 3 because of its anti-inflammatory benefits and the ability to oil the joints. So together, of course, joint flex can do it very well with the components. It has like the glucosamine. What else does the oiling of joints that you know in the joint flex? Apart from, not boswellia. Boswellia is a natural herb which is good for pain in the joints. What else in the joint flex does the oiling? Which one? MSM. MSM is a painkiller, right? It's a painkiller. It's a painkiller, a natural painkiller. We have collagen. So you had forgotten about collagen? Let's clap for everybody else who had forgotten. Let's just participate in terms of clapping. You didn't clap for, let's clap for ourselves, okay. So protection of joints, bones and muscles is something we need not to neglect. And when we continue with our slide here, there are many causes of what we call joint, muscle, and bone problems. Number one is aging. When you start aging, the bones start weakening, and the muscles will also start becoming flabby and weak over time. So aging is something you cannot really avoid, because after some time you're 40, isn't it? But then we also talk about aging like fine wine. You get it? Whereby you're minding your bone health, you're minding your muscle, so that you're not 50 and you're already bending like this. All together? No, you have to protect yourself as you're aging. So aging is one of the causes of these pains. The other one is very common these days, something called poor nutrition. Now, if you don't feed right, you're going to reduce the essential minerals that are needed for muscles, bones, and joint health. So when we talk about nutrition being one of the causes of these problems, we are very right. These days, people don't mind what they eat. There is what we call diet. I've always talked about diet, and I've always compared it with something called nutrition. And who can remind us the difference between the two? Those of you who have been attending my classes, for the new people to know the difference. What is the difference between diet and nutrition? Those of us who know, you put up your hand, we give you the mic. Yes, Mr. Chizito. Let's clap for him first of all. Badde mbasaba kanjogere Luganda tumukubireko mu ngalo kale. Give us the difference. It's very important to know this.
Nutrition is what you put on plate or what you put in mouth. I mean, that is what you put on plate, is what you put in your mouth. But nutrition is what the digestive system separates or observes from what you've eaten. That is nutrition, is what the body...
Do we agree?
Yes.
Do we agree?
Yes.
Oba mubulamu? Mubulamu. Anaga anti mubulamu. Please come. She says mubulamu. Give us the answer. We don't have to do it. Let's not waste time. Papa Emma is here.
Yes, morning members. Yeah, as he says.
Before Papa Emma even says, wait. Before Papa Emma tells us the answer, we need to know how old is Papa Emma. Because some of you look at people like Papa Emma and you think he's our age mate and you think he's a normal person. This guy has children working in very big offices, but he has chosen to be part of us. Let's clap for him first of all.
Yeah. Daddy William is 64 years.
64 years. Let's clap for him.
And using products.
Let's first clap for the 64-year age.
Yeah, as Haji has said, diet is what we eat.
Thank you very much.
Like you eat posho, some can even eat posho, half plate, full plate. You eat anything. But then, when you come to say nutrition, it is the requirement of eating and giving the body what it really requires. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daddy Muhire. Poor nutrition may reduce calcium and vitamin intake. Now, one of the causes of muscles and bone problems is poor nutrition. And then we came to what Daddy has told us. Diet is what you eat every day. So we talk about a balanced diet, we talk about good diet, we talk about bad diet. Yes or yes? Many of us are using our bodies like dustbins. We put every junk there. No wonder we call some of what we eat junk food, but we keep eating it. So we become the junk bodies, right? Now, that is bad diet. Bad diet results into poor nutrition. And this one might cause bone and muscle problems. Are we together? Now, nutrition basically means what your body uses after you've eaten. Now, if your body is not able to use everything you've eaten right, then you're going to have diseases coming in. And one of the challenges you're going to have is you're going to start having muscle and bone problems. Now, I've always repeated it, and I'll repeat it again. Nutrition, like what we are recommending mostly, is nutritional supplements. Because most of the challenges that people struggle with are metabolic issues, diabetes, pressure, bone problems, etc. And they come mostly because of poor nutrition. Now, nutrition has 6 stages, and diet is stage number 1. So if you want to correct your nutrition so that you don't have bone and muscle challenges plus joint problems, among the many other challenges that people struggle with, is you must put your eyes on the nutrition. And those of us who have pens and papers and booklets, we are writing the 6 stages down that you must know. Number 1 is diet. You don't just give people products to use and you let them keep on practicing bad dieting. Because even with the right solutions, if they don't change the way they eat, then they are going to have more problems. One of the things we tell people to stop taking is alcohol, and then too much sugars. And then we talk about reducing the intake of fried stuff, because, you know, what most people use for cooking as cooking oil is not the right oils. And this mic is off. Maybe the battery. Are we together? Now, seed oils, sugars, alcohol, all of them usually go in the body and cause a very dangerous process to start called inflammation. And one of the causes of bone and muscle problems is too much inflammation. Because inflammation has symptoms like pain. Everybody writes symptoms of inflammation, pain. Where is your notebook, you man? Where is your notebook? No. Because we are live, I'll let you. If there is pain, then there is inflammation. If there is probably change of color, swelling, then there is inflammation. Now, because most of the muscle and bone pains, the word is pain involved, it means there is inflammation in the picture, isn't it? And most of the inflammatory agents come in because of what we have eaten or exposed our bodies to. So diet is very key. Of course, after diet, stage 2, we always talk about digestion. This is where products like the colon detox are very key. Digestive system, the breakdown of food. Starts in the mouth, into the stomach. Breakdown. Then after the food is digested, it will push the small intestines so that we can have proper absorption done. So absorption, if it is not done right, you will not have the right nutrients and vitamins and minerals like calcium that are needed for muscles and bones. So stage 3 is very important. That is why a product like colon detoxing is highly needed even when you're working on the muscle and the bone health of people. So many times you've recommended the muscle bone care and it is not seeming to work. You know why? It's because the absorption might be the problem. Probably this guy's intestinal tract is dirty and it is not able to absorb the right nutrients that are needed for the muscles and the bones in the product you've just swallowed. So you end up taking a lot of products and spending a lot of money. Kati, when absorption is done, which is happening in the small intestines, no wonder the small intestines are so long, very long and coiled. And then they end up in the, what they call colon, the other side. Stage number 4 is after the absorption is done, the nutrients are put in the blood vessels. And so the blood comes in the picture. And this is where circulation, stage number 4, also comes in. Now the heart is involved with the blood vessels and the blood transportation system. If somebody has issues with the circulation system, which most times also inflammation that comes from what you eat affects the blood vessels, causing damage. So you have clot formation, and then you have cholesterol piling, and then you have damage in the vessels, and then the pressure goes up. So you also work on your heart. And because the heart is a muscle, who agrees the heart is a muscle? It's made up of muscles, right? Do you agree? Yes. I want you to shout yes or no. Yes. It's a muscle. So we talk about muscle health. Now the heart is involved. Also the pressure people should come through and sit. So we talk about products like the muscle bone care. And then we talk about the benefits of magnesium. Then the heart is also touched. And so circulation, which is stage number what? Stage number 4 of? You guys are sleeping. Some of you. Stage number 4 of nutrition. Kati twagalako 20%, 80% ne bw'osigalira gw'omanyi. Make sure weeripira kuba 20% oleme sigala kuba ekyo tukimanyi. Abamu mwebase dda. Ako tebakarekodinze. Circulation. So circulation, the arteries. We have just told you the heart is muscles. Now this one has the heart, it has the blood and the blood vessels. Sindio? Now, the blood vessels, we have 2 types. Okay, the small ones are called capillaries, but the major are arteries and veins. Kakati, arteries are the ones that receive the blood from the heart at a high pressure when the heart is pumping, so that they take the blood to wherever it is needed, oxygenated blood. Yes or yes? Yes. So when the heart pumps, it puts the blood at high blood pressure in the arteries. And then the veins are the ones that return the blood. Do you get the difference now? After it has been, it has removed the oxygen, now it is deoxygenated, isn't it? I want to be very basic. Now, the arteries, specifically, for them, they are not like the veins. These ones, because they accommodate blood at a very high temperature from the heart, they have muscles in their walls. But the veins don't have muscles. Did you understand that? Because when the blood is coming from the heart is so forceful, it pumps it at a very high blood pressure. Very high. So when it comes, the arteries have to have strong muscles, or else they will burst. Now, these ones have muscles. So we talk about muscle and bone problems. We also talk about arterial problems. Diseases like those that affect the arteries of the heart, coronary heart disease. Here. Omutima gwagezze. It is here. Because we are talking about muscles, isn't it? Diseases like high blood pressure. When these arteries are not receiving the right nutrients they need for the muscles to relax and contract. There are 2 essential minerals here. Calcium and magnesium. Which ones are they? Which ones are they? Calcium and magnesium. So the intake of calcium is needed because calcium helps your muscles contract. And then magnesium helps your muscles relax. And you see, when your heart is pumping, it is like this. When it does this, it is contracting. When it does that, it is what? Relaxing. So the heartbeat requires two. Magnesium and calcium. Very important. Same needed by your bones. Same needed by your arteries. Now, people who have diseases of the arteries, we also talk about poor nutrition. Because point number 2 here has told us that poor nutrition may reduce essential minerals like calcium. Now, if you don't look at the stages of nutrition right, and then you don't clear your digestive system, even when you eat enough of the calcium and magnesium, probably this might hinder, because this affects that. Now, if this is not done right, will this be done right?
No.
That's why many of you are struggling. I've used your product for 3 months and it's not working for me. Jangu tukole ku nutrition first of all. That's why point number 2 is there. Are we together? Of course, the veins for them, tezina muscles. So, omanyi arteries zina muscles. So they're always like this. They are relaxing and contracting. Jissa, tukuita kussa. That's why when you look at your hand there, and then you study some of your veins, oba your arteries gazize kungulu, you know? Olaba ngezimu zizina. Gazissa, ate ezimu tezissa. Zizitassa nnyo ndowooza ze ziba zi veins, simanyi naye oziraba nga you see them movement. Their movement, isn't it? Now the veins, for them to ensure that the blood comes back to the heart, zo zibamu, ziba west, zibamu nebu valve ziwe buti. So when these ones have brought the blood, it now comes back through this one. Kati, the heart pumps, it pushes. When it relaxes, they keep pushing. You get it, eh? So every beat pushes. Now, as they push, they come here. So when the pressure hits here from there, these ones open, and in the relaxation phase, they close. So the blood which was here has moved here. And then the blood which is here comes again on another pump. It pushes into this one, pushing down here into that. On the relaxation phase, the valves close. So there's no backflow. You get it, eh? So there's ding, 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 ding. For them, they open and close. They open. They don't need like the other ones, which push and then relax to receive, then push, the arteries do that. For the other ones, they open to receive, they relax, they close to not do the backflow. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Do you guys get the picture in the mind, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, so arterial work is the most important. That's why when the arteries are struggling, definitely the pressure of the blood in the veins will be affected. This is where, if the blood is now moving down there, the blood to move from the feet back up here depends on the pressure of the blood coming through the arteries. It's the one that pushes it back. Now, if the pressure in the arteries is not right, because your arteries are sickening blood pressure, the blood will stay down there, and then you have swollen feet. And then they tell your uncle to have to sit and then raise the feet on the sofa for the blood to flow like with gravity. Have you seen these ones?
Yes.
All these ones are talking about muscle health. Let's clap for ourselves. That is where nutrition is very important. Nutrition affects your circulation, because circulation so much involves, or is involved, or muscles are so much involved in the circulation, in the arteries and the heart. That's why a product like Muscle Bone Care is always recommended when somebody has heart issues and arterial problems, because we want to have enough of the magnesium and enough of the calcium. And then you need other vitamins. Like they have told you, poor nutrition may reduce calcium and other essential vitamin intake. Vitamins like vitamin D. Vitamin D. That your body can make when you bask under the sun in the morning hours. And then you expose your skin to the sun, which you don't do these days. That vitamin helps the calcium to be absorbed by the body and also into the bones and the muscles. But as you keep aging, which is number one, problems will start happening even to that process. Next time you get a notebook, right? That phone can be lost anytime. You can't have it 10 years from now. And the message goes to everybody else who is using the tab and the phone for writing. You need a notebook. We are so into business that wetaaga kuwandiika. Obwongo bukwatagana n'omukono gwo. You remember everything, okay? Thank you very much. I think this we shall leave here. Of course, after circulation, there is number 5 called assimilation and elimination. There are 6 stages. Another reason that causes muscle and bone problems, lack of exercising, staying sedentary, not having physical activity happening. You work on your flexibility and your body strength when you're always active. Now I was going to be exercising, and when my minister ne bagamba, whoever exercised this morning, keep atule wansi muyinza obutatula abasinga nga Katonda ye judge. Kuba bagamba muyinza otuula naye Katonda nga bagamba, if I put something like go to take you now, okay, the devil is under text, the devil to take you now into another life. People don't exercise. Now that one weakens their bodies. Now the other thing is, when you're stressed, you cause muscle and bone problems. How does that come through? Stress hormone called cortisol increases inflammation in your body. And that may increase the discomfort to your muscles. You become weak. Also, the stress hormone makes your muscles weak. Let me be clear. And then the inflammation causes more issues to your muscles, including your arteries, and the pressure rises also. So, stress should be avoided. What you can't control, you cannot. Relax, breathe, let life be. Don't get hard on life. Even AAA is now stressing. Then, the other causes of problems in there are injuries. For example, accidents. And then frequently using these borders, and then you don't manage them when they are riding you, yet you're going to pay them. Your backbone is being affected, and you'll feed it later. So you have to be a gezi customer. And you have to be strict. You know, sometimes they become so friendly to you, so on the border, you have to be rude because you're going to pay, but a good rudeness. Because, man, how? That car shaking you get, you don't feed it now. Wait when you're old. Or when you give birth, the women. Then the back will start coming back. Of course, women can be my witnesses. If you're in a border, you know the impact you feel. It's different from men. Now, men also know that when you're growing oldish a bit, and then you have issues with your muscles and joints and bones because of, maybe aging, maybe poor nutrition, maybe lack of exercises, maybe stress and inflammation, and now you've started getting injuries on your joints. And when the border guy hits you in a pothole, if you're driving and then you hit a pothole, Daddy Mira, you know your age mates, how they feel when they hit a pothole seated in the back. They'll be like, hey! You have a testimony, come and tell us. Let's clap for Daddy Mira here. 64-year-old with a good posture. Anyway.
Good morning, members. There's total injuries which will come when you become old. And that's why you go to every hospital when someone is sick. The doctor will first ask you the history of the patient. Now, the testimony I have, I got a friend, and the daughter got first pregnancy. So the first pregnancy, the daughter developed what the doctor has called a growth. She developed a lot of pain, terrible pain, and most hospitals referred her. And eventually, she was referred to Nakase Hospital, where they suspected there must be a highly trained person on that. When they reached Nakase Hospital, they did their testing, their everything, growth is becoming a growth, and it is crying. The expert said, I want the history of this lady. something happened. Tell us. She's not talking. She refused to talk. They had to look for the dad to give the history of the girl. And the dad said, at one time, the girl fell down on the border, but there were no injuries. They collected her, and the hospital declared her free. She was declared free, means she was out of danger. But now, imagine